President Obama takes a stand. Stand up, that is. We'll have the details of the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner just ahead.
Later, a police shooting was caught on tape. An eyewitness account from a reporter who was on scene coming up.
Plus, violent weather in the South continues to devastate families. Kelsey Bradley reports.
Welcome to the last MCTV News live update of the semester. I'm Allie Reed.
And I'm Katie Johnston. We've got a lot to cover tonight, so let's get to it. On April 15th, 200 girls were kidnapped from their beds at their school in Nigeria. Yesterday morning, the extremist terrorist group Boko Haram released a video statement of their plans to sell the girls. The video features a man claiming to be the group's leader. Listen to this.
Allah ne ya ce in sayar, me shi ne ya umurce ni in sayar. Zan sayar da mata, ina sayar da mata.
Reports indicate that some of the girls have already been sold as brides to their captors and have been forced to convert to Islam. Trained by the terrorist organization Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram is translated as a Western education is sin. Nigerian President Jonathan promises to find and free the girls.
On May 12th, the largest election in world history will take place in India. Many of India's biggest leaders are already fearing the possibility of Narendra Modi, BJP representative and extreme Hindu nationalist, being elected to office. Modi has had a history of ignoring harsh injustices toward Muslims in Gujarat during his time as Prime Minister of this nation. Modi's possible rule over India could make this unsafe for its heavy population of Muslims and Christian citizens. Some are comparing Modi to infamous dictators like Joseph Stalin and Fidel Castro.
Troubling reports of a botched administration of the death penalty in Oklahoma has caused President Obama to call for a review of the death penalty. Procedures throughout the states, the call to action came after the lethal injection procedure on convicted murderer and rapist Clayton Lockett went awry, as his death was delayed before he finally suffered a heart attack. Obama believes that there are several problems with the system, including potential racial bias and a questionable lack of evidence in certain cases. No tentative plans have been made to review the process yet, except Attorney General Eric Holder to investigate the issue very soon.
I actually heard about this on the radio. I was in the morning show. And it took like 56 minutes or something for him to actually end up dying, which you'd be surprised how often this actually happens. There's like documentaries upon documentaries about this out there.
It's horrific, and it's crazy that even after all the media coverage that nothing is being done.
I mean, like, I'm not a big fan of capital punishment, but I definitely think that if we're going to be doing it, they do deserve the right to at least have an okay death and not suffer.
I don't know. I'm just not for it, and I think something clearly needs to be done.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, news teams are all about getting that story first, but not even MCTV would be prepared for this one. In Spokane, Washington Friday, a TV cameraman was on the scene when multiple police officers opened fire on a man linked to a suspected homicide. As Erin reports, what had been a crime scene investigation turned deadly in a matter of moments.
It looks like Libya has a new leader, for now. Ahmed Matigue was elected interim prime minister by the General National Congress, Libya's transitional parliament. Matigue will be the country's fifth prime minister since the end of the uprisings in 2011. He was initially selected on Sunday after a chaotic day of voting, but immediately afterwards, the election was declared invalid. However, Congress reconfirmed the businessman's appointment on Monday, and Matigue is now being asked to form his cabinet. Libya remains in turmoil as citizens complain about the nation's slow democratic process.
Vancouver took on a creative art and social experiment combination recently, orchestrated by local artist Zebulon Austin. The idea involves giving back to the streets that some artists call home. Each piece of art is placed around the city, then photographed and put on Facebook, where followers can try to find it or stumble upon it. Once the work is found, there is a handwritten note on the back explaining the project and asking for a photo of where the recipient chooses to place it.
Separatists attacked Ukrainian police bases Saturday, overnight, following a fiery speech and a threat to march upon Kiev by the leader of pro-Russian separatists in Luhansk. CNN's Arwa Damon is on the ground with more details.
The deadline was 6 p.m. Saturday, and when Ministry of Interior reinforcements from western Ukraine did not leave Luhansk, they came under attack at their temporary base, a military recruitment center. "Where are the gunmen?" someone shouts. Men from another base tried to respond, but found themselves under fire at their gate. "They shot the checkpoint, the window, and the car we had blocking the entrance," Lieutenant Colonel Yuri Smirnov tells us. They eventually negotiated, sending away the non-local forces and agreeing. "We won't leave here with our weapons, and they won't block us." A small unit of pro-Russian fighters returns to the scene to pick up their car that broke down the night before, kitted out in battle gear, confident and cocky. "Do I have military experience? Bring me one of your Navy SEALs and I will show you military experience," Nikolai boasts. "Who is going to get rid of us? Everyone is scared of us." He insists he would prefer not to fight, as long as Kiev acknowledges that this is their Russian land. That message is well understood here, as the Ukrainian unit brings out a car battery for the militants who attacked them the night before. An uneasy truce in an increasingly hostile and murky environment. Yuri lives right across the street, pointing to the bullet holes left from the battle. "We fell to the ground. We lay down in the bathroom away from the windows," he says. Blaming and despising Kiev for it all. Arwa Damon, CNN, Luhansk, Ukraine.
So imagine being stranded without food or water for a week. Now imagine that same week while trapped inside of a car. A Denver, Colorado woman was found inside her wrecked car 1 week after she was reported missing. The vehicle crashed and flipped over into a ditch off the side of the highway on April 29th. She was recently found by someone checking out the scenery. The single mother of 4 was alive but in critical condition. Though her feet have been amputated, she is lucky to be alive after surviving upside down in a car for 6 days. There have been some crazy survival stories over the past few weeks, like the guy who was under the tire in the plane for however long to Hawaii.
This last one's just insane, though. I can't imagine.
Like 6 days. I mean, like, think about it, though. She had to have been unconscious for probably a while of it, so it's not like she was,
crazy.
Like, oh my God, I'm dying. But,
horrible.
Probably for a while. Well, golly, it sure has been a long and cold semester. Bet you haven't heard that one before. Our weather wonder woman, Kelsey Bradley, is here with the details. Hey, Kelsey.
Hey, as the semester comes to an end and summer approaches quickly, I think we can sum this up this semester's highs and lows with one question. Where is the warm weather? But before we take a look at what's happening here in the Hudson Valley, we should look at some of the devastating and dangerous weather that has hit the rest of the world. Early yesterday morning, Tokyo was shaken by a 6.2 magnitude earthquake, centered 99 miles under the seabed, located near the island of Izu Oshima. The quake resulted in 17 injuries, but fortunately no deaths and little damage. On the other hand, an Oklahoma wildfire on Sunday left one man dead and thousands of residents running from their homes due to strong winds and dry conditions. The blaze spread almost 6 square miles in less than 5 hours. As of now, the wildfire is 75% contained, but the path of its fire still puts about 150 homes in great danger. Looking at more weather in that area, May is typically the peak of tornado season. States from Oklahoma to Florida have been the most affected by the recent outbreak of tornadoes. The outbreak swept across the south and expanded into the East Coast midweek. Deadly flooding due to extremely heavy rain sparked landslides in the Carolinas and Baltimore. Here you can see how the flooding affected North Carolina. Noxapater in Mississippi was devastatingly hit last Tuesday. The tornado ripped through aluminum and wood frame poultry houses on Wilkes Farm, which held a total of 2,200,000 chickens. Owner Charlie Wilkes believes the damage to be about a $1.5 million loss. Now, let's take a look at our local weather. As you can see today, we've experienced kind of a change. No more rain, mostly full sun and some passing clouds. But you know what? I have to say, I wore shorts today. It felt really great. And it's really just the wind that makes things chilly. We had a good high. Every time I look at the records on the almanac, I think, man, I wish that we were granted the exact high, 87. Could you believe it? But unfortunately, just around 66. Still felt pretty good. No more rain. That's all I was looking for. But as you can see, the sun sets a little later as we get closer to the summer, and that always feels good, when you're studying and staying in the library all along. Feels good to have the sun out. It doesn't feel as dark. Today was mostly sun and a little bit of clouds. It was a high of 66. Tonight will be a little cool and humid with a low of 37. Tomorrow should be just as gorgeous as today. Expect mostly sun and a low of just 53. This week's weather should stay comfortable with high 60s into Friday. Thursday into the weekend will be pretty warm as well, but be prepared to take your weekend plans indoors as some occasional rain is expected. So get your sunglasses out for the week, but you may need your umbrellas too. Don't let a few rain showers stop you from enjoying your last week here at Marist. As we know, this campus looks gorgeous in any weather. That's all I have for you guys today with your weekly highs and lows report. I'm Kelsey Bradley. Back to you guys.
I don't know that shorts were an appropriate choice today, young lady.
Hey, I was wearing my denim shorts. It felt good. It was a little breezy at times, but I had a sweater over it. It felt nice. I've just been dying to wear shorts. It's been so chilly lately.
You know what? I'll defend her. I had shorts on today, but the one thing I can't defend you with is bringing up the fact that it's the last week.
Yeah,
here.
can we
We're
not?
Seniors.
Hey,
you gotta
can
cut
we
it back
not?
a little bit.
I'm so sad that
We've
you
got
guys
an
are
entire
leaving.
table full
This
of
is an
seniors
emotional
right now.
time.
I know.
I'm going to throw this pen at you.
Anyway,
please.
before
Some of us have prepared ourselves and ready to leave. Some of us obviously haven't.
Well, you know what? I'm not ready for you guys to
Oh,
leave.
all
that's
right.
for
Well,
sure.
on that note, Dan the Sportsman Cohen is here. What do you have for us tonight, Dan?
Well, it's been a wild one. The Angels walked away with a victory from the Yankees last night. As well in the NBA playoffs, I'm not sure the Pacers are really looking like a first seed right now. Maybe more like an 8 seed who they beat last time in the Hawks. As well, we have an NHL playoff coming back for you right after this break.
Sweet. Looking forward to it. We'll be right back.
I guess this is it.
You promised to call?
I promise. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Kelsey, how's school?
Everything's great. I really like my classes. There's so many clubs and activities to choose from. I think I'd like to study abroad. I was accepted for an internship in New York City. can't believe I'm graduating.
My name is Brittany, and I'm a freshman at Marist College. It was one of my first weeks on campus, and some friends and I decided to go out. After a few hours, thinking nothing of it, I decided to leave early. That night, I was brutally attacked because I decided to leave the bar alone. It took one night, one bad decision that would create pain for a lifetime.
Welcome back. I am Dan Cohen here with your live sports report. There was a ton of action last night in the sports world, but first, let's start with your local team. Last night, the Yankees took on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Now, David Phelps got the start of the first time this season because Yankees pitcher Michael Pineda is serving a 10-game suspension for the pine tar, we all remember. Phelps lasted 5 1/3 innings while giving up only 3 hits and allowing 1 run. The Yankees put up a run in the top of the 7th to allowed to tie the game at 1, but it looked like they had a chance to win this game. And then in the 8th, everything fell apart. That is when the real trouble started, as the Yankees walked 6 batters and allowed the Angels to bat around without even getting a hit. So I can't really call it batting around, I guess it's walking around. John Kelly retired 2 batters, but also gave up 3 runs, and the damage was all done in the 8th as the Angels went on to a 4-1 victory. Well, let us go from the East to the Midwest, and the NBA playoffs started the second round last night. The Washington Wizards came out hot as they took down the highly questionable Indiana Pacers in Game 1. Now, all 5 starters for the Wizards scored in double figures last night, as they were 20-year-old shooting guard Bradley Beal led the team with 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. The Wizards look like a team with harmony as they had 33 assists on 35 field goals. Also, last night in action with the Los Angeles Clippers as they took on the Oklahoma City Thunder. This game was not close, as Chris Paul and the Clippers put up 69 points in the first half and went on to a 122-105 victory and to take the 1-0 lead in the series. Paul had a night to remember as he scored 32 points on 12 of 14 shooting and added 10 dimes for the double-double. Staying with the inside arenas, but getting a little colder, let's take a look at the NHL playoffs. The New York Rangers took on the Pittsburgh Penguins in a Game 3 of their second-round matchup that was tied at 1. For the second straight game, the Rangers looked a little bit flat compared to the Penguins. They have not scored in now 2 straight games. That's 120 straight minutes, and if they cannot score, they're just not going to win. Sid the Kid Crosby put up a first goal on a long 2-line pass that gave him a mini breakaway. He hit 5-hole on Henrik Lundqvist, and that was it for the second period. Another defensive mistake gave Ozzy Jukinen a second breakaway and did not waste the opportunity as he made it a 2-0 lead. That will be all she wrote as the Penguins took a 2-1 lead in this series. The other game last night on the ice was the Los Angeles Kings versus the Anaheim Ducks. The Kings are looking to knock off their second straight Cali team, and they might just do it. They scored 3 goals, and Jonathan Quick was extra quick last night as he stopped 36 out of the 37 shots. Anze Kopitar has now scored a point in every single playoff game for the Kings this season. The Kings went on to a 3-1 victory as they take a 2-0 lead in the series. Now, that's all I have for you with tonight's sports report. But first, I'd like to give a special thanks out to Peter Malavenda, Allie Reed, and Briana Flynn for giving me the opportunity to be on MCTV this semester and really take a dream, make it a reality. Let's send it back to the desk. Commercial.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Red Fox City.
When should I be expecting you? 15 minutes? I'll be ready.
Welcome back to the final MCTV live news update of the semester. Not gonna lie, guys, this week in entertainment is full of stories that can be classified as bad news. For example, bad news for fans of late-night talk show host Craig Ferguson, as he announced during a recent taping of The Late Late Show that this year would be his last. The Scottish Ferguson, who's been hosting the show since 2005, will have his final shows this upcoming December. Despite speculation that Ferguson is bitter towards CBS for giving Comedy Central veteran Stephen Colbert The Late Show once David Letterman steps down, both sides assure the public that everything is civil. In other TV news, bad news for fans of the freshman sci-fi show Almost Human, as Fox has made the decision to cancel the program after only one season. The J.J. Abrams-produced series is just the latest series to be canned by Fox to fan outrage, as other shows such as Judd Apatow's Freaks and Geeks and Joss Whedon's Firefly were put down before their time. Finally, bad news for Ben Affleck and his love of blackjack, as the Argo director and soon-to-be Batman was banned from playing the card game at the Hard Rock Casino in Las Vegas. Affleck was told that he could play any other game in the casino, but was barred from 21 because, quote, "You are too good at this game." Seems like a strange response, but okay. Moving towards some lighter news, the first single from the late Michael Jackson's second posthumous album, Escape, was recently released. The single, titled Love Never Felt So Good, was originally recorded in 1983, but was never released. The new version of the song features both Jackson and reigning king of pop, Justin Timberlake, in a pseudo-duet of sorts. The album does not yet have a release date. Speaking of premiere dates, the highly anticipated reboot of the Boys Meets World franchise, titled Girl Meets World, is set to premiere on the Disney Channel June 27th. The original series ran on ABC from 1993 to 2000 and has been met with plenty of nostalgic love over the past couple of years, prompting a decision to greenlight the subsequent series. That's all I have for you in entertainment this week. I'm Andrew Auger. That's all I have to say. Here's the positively perfect Allie Reed with her movie ABCs. Take it away, Allie.
I love that our director Peter has decided that alliteration is going to be the theme of this show. But can I just say, Girl Meets World, gonna be awesome.
You think Peter has that much power? Alliteration was my idea.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I'm perfectly whatever I was. Positively perfect. There we go. Well, hey guys, with tons of new movies coming out every week, it's hard to tell which ones are worth the money and which ones you should just wait to watch on Netflix. To give you some help, I'm here with Allie's blockbuster commentary. This week's top box office hit was The Other Woman. Now last week I told you guys to stay away from the theaters on this one, but $28.5 million taken in, it looks like you didn't listen to me. Critics are still ragging on it for its vapid comedy and incoherent plot holes, only registering at 24% on Rotten Tomatoes. My suggestion, again, is to skip it if you haven't seen it already. For the second week in a row, Captain America Winter Soldier is one of the top box office spots. Sales dropped a lot this past week with only $16 million, but it's still rocking that 89% ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. See it while you can, folks. Opening this week is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I hate to be the one to say it, but is anyone else getting tired of all the superhero movies? Especially since the Spider-Man franchise didn't need revamping. The movie is only doing okay in critics' eyes. This sequel is apparently trying to do too much in one movie, and even though the plot is bloated, this one may be worth seeing on the big screen for the visual effects. Either way, Tobey Maguire will always be my Spider-Man. On the other side of the coin, the drama Ida is opening this week, and it's receiving quite a warm welcome from critics. But be careful, this film is a heavy one. Based in the 1960s Poland, a young woman discovers a bump in a road on her way to becoming a nun when she's told of her family's Jewish ancestry. This film follows her family's story through the occupation of Poland in World War II. This one is sure to tug on your heartstrings. It has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes so far, and I imagine it will continue to do well through the next few weeks. Finally, my flick pick of the week is Belle. This movie comes to theaters this weekend, and although I haven't seen it yet, the ratings are showing it's worth it. It has a 79% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and critics are saying that it is a film about an illegitimate biracial daughter of a royal dignitary, and it holds with it a striking social consciousness. I know I didn't sell that very well, but if you like questioning past social structures and you want to see a top-notch acting performance, check out Belle this weekend. It looks like that's all I have for you guys this time. Signing off, I'm Allie Reed with your movie ABCs. Stick around with more live news ahead.
Yeah, I got the money. I'll be there soon.
must do that which we think we cannot.
The mind is everything. What you think, you become.
It is not best that we should all think alike.
He who learns but does not think is lost.
The main purpose of life is to live rightly, think rightly, act rightly.
Oh, the things you could think up if only you try.
Welcome back to our final MCTV live news update of the semester. Now a word from our next news director on behalf of the entire club. It's a bittersweet moment for our news team. A year of hard work has paid off well for our show. Each week we try to bring you, our viewers, something new and exciting to see, but unfortunately we are getting ready to say goodbye to two of the most exciting parts of our club. Katie Johnston and Allie Reed, President and News Director for MCTV, are seniors this year, preparing to graduate. If it were not for their ability to see such incredible potential in our programming and in our members, this group could not be what it is today. We are so grateful for everything you have taught us about the industry, but more importantly, we value the friendships we have created together. As professional as our relationships may seem at times, news is what bonds us together. It's something that will always exist, as is likely will that bond. Katie, congratulations on a successful presidency. Under your guidance, MCTV has seen some of its brightest days. And Allie, congratulations on accepting full-time employment at VH1. We know both of your futures have great things in store. Thank you again for everything. You both will be missed tremendously, and your impact here at Marist College will be felt for quite some time. So enjoy the rest of your last broadcast and remember where it all started. Katie, Allie, back to you ladies.
You know, I'm pretty sure someone wants to make me cry today.
You guys did that in the middle of the show?
I hate you.
Cool. Oh no, but...
Oh my God.
Wow.
And I have the next story. I'm saying this is gonna suck.
Oh, I'm gonna cry by the end of this. Okay. So
you guys, literally, you don't know how much you mean to me, especially because when I came into news, like, it was very different. It was 3 times this semester, and to know that we're doing a weekly show, you guys literally are my Marist experience. You are my family, and you are my friends, and that's never gonna change.
I just want to thank all you guys for putting that segment together. That was really awesome, and I'm definitely gonna miss working with this club. I've loved it for 4 years. And to keep the show from going to an hour.
Yeah, right.
Let's save the tears for the end.
In
right.
other news, following month-long protests from Rutgers students and staff, former U.S. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice has elected not to speak at this year's commencement address. Rice, who played a large role in the U.S. involvement in the Iraqi war, was met with harsh criticism from Rutgers students. They accused her and other members of the Bush administration of committing war crimes. Rice felt that her role in the commencement ceremony was causing too much of a distraction. Eric LeGrand, a Rutgers alum, is now slated to speak. It was not without drama, though. As the university rescinded its first invitation, LeGrand is known for overcoming a major injury.
It's that one time each year where DC goes Hollywood. Saturday was the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and as usual, there's a buzz following who was there and what was said. There were over 2,600 guests that include journalists, Hollywood's elite, government and political officials, and even professional athletes. Some of the key moments of the night were President Obama poking fun at himself, Joel McHale poking fun at just about everyone, and a video skit featuring Vice President Biden, Julie Louis-Dreyfus and Michelle Obama, where the three sneak into the White House kitchen in the middle of the night. As usual, it was a mix of glam and politics.
The drama between Samsung and Apple patents is heating up this week. According to newly filed court documents, Samsung must pay Apple over $100 million more than they have already owed over patent infringements. Although Apple has been hoping to rake in even more money, the jury only sided with 2 out of the 4 patent issues the company reported. It seems as if this is not the end of the dispute between the tech giants, just another chapter in a fight that has been going on for years.
For those of you who smoke e-cigarettes, a new report indicates that they are not all too different from their traditional origins. Studies have shown that e-cigarettes can get as hot as most regular cigarettes. While they do not use tobacco, carcinogen levels remain high in e-cigarettes. The carcinogens they have found include formaldehyde and nicotine-laced vapor. Some are saying that these carcinogenic e-cigarettes may be more harmful to your body than a classical cigarette.
And if that's not enough to make you stop smoking, now researchers have found that women who smoke during their pregnancies may be putting their babies at risk for some serious problems. Here's Holly Furfer with today's Health Minute.
Pregnant women who smoke not only put themselves at risk for developing dangerous health concerns, they also may be harming their unborn babies' hearts. A new study presented at the Pediatric Academic Society's annual meeting in Vancouver found pregnant women who smoked put their newborns at risk for developing congenital heart defects, and the more they smoked, the higher that risk became. Investigators looked at thousands of birth certificates and hospital discharge records from the state of Washington to determine if smoking during the first trimester of pregnancy could be linked to heart problems. They found newborns with heart defects were more likely than those without heart defects to have been born to mothers who smoked. And age was a key factor. The data showed women 35 and older who smoked had a greater chance of having a child with heart problems, such as defective valves and blood vessels, as well as holes in the walls of the heart chambers. Researchers noted about 10% of women giving birth these days have reported smoking during pregnancy. Study authors say it's a dangerous habit and suggest before a woman who smokes becomes pregnant, she seriously think about quitting. For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
Summer is almost here, and with that comes warm weather, mosquitoes, and the possibility of contracting diseases like malaria. Researchers at Vanderbilt University are now developing a bug repellent that they hope can protect users from this deadly disease. The chemical known as Vuan works against bugs, including ants, and mosquitoes, flies by attacking the insect's sense of smell. So far, it has worked against every bug tested and has not raised safety concerns. I'm sorry. There is no word yet on a release date.
Why should people watch the other half? Phenomenal question.
We really get down to the issues. Oh!
Now, it's trendy, it's hilarious.
It's something that every college student can relate to.
It gets very provocative.
It's really great to see what the opposite sex thinks about things.
Real men don't do that, all right? You gotta start seeing some real men.
Okay! You know, there's some times where Rob and I have a little bit of a disagreement on subjects. Final thought.
Oh my god. I look jacked.
No. We do episodes on fashion, sports, text translation, first dates.
It's just an international sensation that this show is going to be sweeping the nation.
It was a fiasco.
Really, every college student in the world should be watching this show.
Low five. No.
So as funny as malaria is, have you ever wished you could sit in the audience at the Emmys or the Golden Globes? Have I got news for you. This Sunday, Marist College's Professor Bass will be hosting his own campus version of a cinema awards show. The Silver Fox Awards will go down this Sunday, May 11th at 7 p.m. in the Nellie Galetti Theater. Awards for Best Music Video, Documentary, Narrative, and Commercial will be given out. Come watch your friends as they get their 15 minutes of fame before finals week.
And if you liked that pizza commercial that you saw earlier on in the show,
or the La Delicioso.
Yeah, both of those, so come out and see that. Anyway, a circus performance goes terribly wrong in Providence, Rhode Island Sunday afternoon, injuring 11 people, including 9 performers. For more on the story, here's Mary Ellen Hopkins.
Emergency crews rushed to the Dunkin' Donuts Center in downtown Providence after a Barnum and Bailey circus stunt went wrong. This video shows the tragic moment 8 acrobats hanging from a circus hoop by their hair fall to the ground. The stunt is called the Medeiros Hair Hang Act. The general manager of the touring circus held back tears while talking about the injured performers. Several parents said, thankfully, their children didn't know the seriousness of what had happened. Barnum and Bailey says safety tests are done routinely on their equipment and they don't know what went wrong. Now Barnum and Bailey, along with local authorities, are investigating the incident. I'm Mary Ellen Hopkins reporting.
Hey, before you take that selfie, swipe to your right. Snapchat has updated its features so that users can chat with their friends instead of just sending images to each other. Just like snapping pictures, the content of the messages disappears once you leave the conversation, unless you want to screen grab it. Snapchat is hoping to move on from the single-mode communication formats and follow along the path of other social networking giants like Skype. So what's the coolest feature? Live video chatting from the message window, just like FaceTime. Apparently we're supposed to be Snapchatting with Peter right now, but I don't have that.
Yeah.
Oh, but I got a new Snapchat from Peter Malavenda, something about this show, in case anyone cared. I don't know why this is in our script.
I don't know.
We're really professional.
What are we looking at?
I don't know. It was just the board. Selfie.
Can
I'm
someone
supposed
do
to,
my
I don't have the update.
Well,
I was not prepared for this show. We're doing a show.
that was a fun little trick. Anyway, we all know that selfies taken in public can get a little embarrassing, just ask Allie. But this story is absolutely nuts. A 17-year-old Maine resident was walking through a Florida park while on a college hunting trip. Not like college hunting, okay. College hunting trip. When he decided to take a selfie with a seemingly friendly squirrel resting on a bridge railing. As soon as the picture was taken, the squirrel freaked out from the sounds and lights and attacked the student. Don't worry, he was able to shake it off. Both the teen and the squirrel walked away uninjured. That should be a children's book, don't you think?
Sounds like it happened at Marist. This was my college hunting experience.
I
had rifles.
I feel like that's the next Dr. Seuss, because our generation's so stupid and they have the selfies and the Instagram. It's going to be like boy meets squirrel.
Boy meets squirrel. We got a new spin-off. Call ABC.
All
or
right.
Disney Channel.
That's how I'm going to get my job. Anyway.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in for the last MCTV news update of the semester. Sadly, this is also my last time being on camera for these lovely people, but I'm going to keep it short. I'm Allie Reed.
And I'm Katie Johnston.
There aren't words.
There aren't words. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to the entire club for getting involved this semester. I'm going to miss this. These last 4 years as a part of this club has been one of the best experiences I've had at Marist, and I just want to thank the entire crew and everyone watching at home for making this possible. I love you guys.
Stay foxy, Marist.
Stay foxy, Marist College.